Today I'm sharing 5 viral Middle Eastern fragrances and giving you my honest opinions about whether these are worth the hype or not. These perfumes have been hyped up on social media and I was curious about trying them, so I have them here and I'm excited to share them with you. If this is your first time watching this channel, hello, my name is Anya. I love talking about all sorts of different perfumes, from affordable, designers, Middle Eastern, niche. I love fragrances and I'm on here every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, along with a ton of bonus content in between. I tend to release videos pretty much every single day, whether it be a full-length video or shorts, so be sure to subscribe if you're interested in seeing more content from me. Full disclosure, I'm trying to not blind buy perfumes just for the sake of reviewing them, so I have here all decants. I did get 10 milliliter decants of these fragrances, which I think is a decent amount for me to be able to overspray them to really get a sense of how the fragrance performs. It's more than a sample, and I feel like 10 milliliters is a good amount. So I did get my sample or my decants from the Sillage by GB. If you're interested in getting decants, that's a pretty good resource because she has everything from like Middle Eastern, affordable, designer, niche. She has a great selection. I love her stuff, and I've purchased so many fragrances from her already, full-size bottles and a ton of decants. This next perfume is a bit polarizing. People are really hyping it up, but also after reading reviews on Fragrantica, some people vehemently dislike it. This is Shaga Oud Tonka by Swiss Arabian. This comes in a really bright blue turquoise bottle, and it has notes of almond at the top, a mid of cinnamon, orange blossom, and Turkish rose, and then a base of tonka bean, vanilla, and amberwood. This perfume smells to me like a whipped vanilla dessert with almond ice cream. Like I get like an ice cream quality to it, but it's a very nutty fragrance. To a lot of people, this fragrance smells kind of similar to like a cherry perfume, and almond notes tend to smell similar to cherry sometimes and vice versa. So that to me is not a surprise, but I personally don't get a lot of a cherry fragrance here. I get more almond. It's a almond dessert fragrance. Based off of what people are saying online, people either really love it or people either really hate it. And I would definitely say with this fragrance, test it before you buy it. See if you can get a decant of it, because I can easily see this as being a pretty polarizing perfume. I really, really like it. It's actually one of my favorite fragrances in this video because I like that it smells like a dessert without being overtly sweet. It's not like overbearingly sweet, which I find to be the case with a lot of popular gourmand perfumes, but it's also not too cake-like as well, which I do like in some cases, but sometimes I want something that doesn't necessarily smell like a cake. This smells to me like a nutty ice cream. I really, really like this perfume a lot. I don't get as much cherry, but I will say the almond note here is something to be a bit wary of. You definitely want to test this fragrance out. I'll give you an example. Dior's Hypnotic Poison, that's an almond fragrance that everyone is obsessed with. I don't like that fragrance at all. I think the same thing is going on here. This is a fragrance that you either will really like because of the almond note, or you might think that it smells like abrasive. This to me is something I really love, but I can see this being a polarizing scent, so this is a try before you buy. I do think it's really good. I really, really like this perfume. I enjoyed this a lot. I would say if I finish this decant, I will consider getting the full bottle because I love it that much. Next up is a fragrance that made a bit of a splash because the bottle looks a little bit weird, not gonna lie. And this is a perfume that I featured in my new fragrance releases series that I do every Monday. I talked about this fragrance. I was a little bit curious about it, and then I saw a lot of people review this perfume and I was very much intrigued. I almost blind bought this fragrance, and to be honest, I'm glad I didn't. This is Ser by Lattafa. This has notes of bitter almond and cinnamon at the top, a mid of akigala wood, pomerose, and jasmine, and then a base of vanilla absolute, tonka bean, and amber. So this is an interesting fragrance because a lot of people have really been hyping it up. It's personally not my favorite, and I think the reason is just a little bit too spicy for me, but it's spicy in a way that I am not drawn to. The cinnamon here, it's not scratchy, but it's a little bit too close to it to my liking. And cinnamon for me is a note that I either like it or I dislike it when it comes to perfumes. There are some perfumes with cinnamon that I love, and Shaga Oud Tonka is a perfume with cinnamon, I believe, that I really, really do like. But this one, it's just not it for me. This smells like a cake that's been soaked in like vanilla and spices. And to some people, that might be really good, and I think that would be amazing for winter, and I do want to revisit this again in the winter time. But this is not the fragrance for me right now. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. If I had the bottle, I would like it enough to keep it, but I wouldn't necessarily declutter it, but I also wouldn't necessarily want to wear it that often, if that makes any sense. It's not my favorite. I see where the hype is at, but it's not my favorite out of the selection, and this is a pass for me. Next, we're kicking it old school with a fragrance by Lattafa. This is Yara. I have not tried this fragrance, and I feel like I'm the last person on the internet to try it, but I do have thoughts. And first off, Yara Candy just got released, and I did do a review on that fragrance, so check it out if you haven't already. I do like it. I wish it could be stronger, but I go into like the complexities and like my interpretations of that fragrance and whether or not it's worth the hype in that separate video, so definitely do check that out. I bought I bought the decant of Yara just so I can have a reference of it, and I was kind of curious about trying it out anyway, but the reason why I have never purchased the bottle itself is I'm just not a fan of like the whole look of the bottle, and I don't want to have a fragrance like just floating around my collection if I don't really enjoy what it looks like. So to me, like that's my opinion on that. And I tried this fragrance out and I was kind of apprehensive because Yara Tous is the mango one. I don't like that one. I used to like it. It's not my favorite anymore. So I was, again, curious about trying this one out. It's supposed to be like Lattafa's answer to like a Burberry Her. I tried it and I actually really like it. It's good. I really do enjoy it. Let's get into the notes. So we have top notes of tangerine, heliotrope, and orchid, a heart of tropical notes, and gourmand notes, and then a vanilla, sandalwood, and musk base. This smells like a strawberry milkshake. I know everyone has been saying that, but it genuinely smells like a strawberry milkshake in the best way. It smells very creamy. I like this one a lot. It's playful, but it's not too artificial smelling. It's surprisingly photorealistic, but like it's photorealistic in the way that a strawberry milkshake would be. So like when you think of a strawberry milkshake, this is literally it. I really, really like this. I think it's really nice. Would I buy the full-size bottle? I don't think so, but I very much look forward to enjoying my decant. This is a decant I will enjoy. The next fragrance, I'm not a huge fan of. This is Eclair by Lattafa, and you might be thinking, hold up, everyone loves this fragrance. What's going on? Like, and here's the thing. I think this fragrance smells really, really good. Like, it's one of those, like, vanilla scent profiles that everyone tends to really like. It's strong. It's a good performing fragrance. A little bit goes a long way. It's not, like, a beast performing, but it has all-day performance, in my opinion. It's good. It's like that caramelized vanilla. Let's get into the notes. So we have top notes of caramel, milk, and sugar, a mid of honey and white flowers, and then a base of vanilla, praline, and musk. Objectively, this does smell nice. It's like a stronger version of Bianco Latte, but Bianco Latte is like a little bit lighter, and it kind of like is more like tonic. This one's stronger. And it also costs around $50, and the bottle looks horrendous. So that's why I'm not like a huge fan of this fragrance. I do think it's overpriced when you consider that the fragrance that it's supposed to be inspired by is it's like $100, and this one is $50. So to me, that makes this fragrance like not necessarily worth it in my opinion. I think the bottle looks really tacky. It's just not my thing. And the fragrance, it's good, but like it doesn't do anything that special for me. Like it just is like a vanilla caramel fragrance. I like it. Would I Would I use this decant up? Probably not, because it kind of smells like in a similar ballpark to Churros 71, Vanilla by Fleur. Like, it smells kind of similar to those fragrances. It's not duping those fragrances, but like it's that similar sweet vanilla. So there's nothing like unique about it to me. And I also think that it's just not worth the price. So that's why this is a no for me. I'm not a huge fan of it. This is definitely a pass, and that might be controversial, but that's my opinion. And let me just make it clear, I think that that fragrance, it smells really good, and if you're trying to build your collection, I think that there's value in having that fragrance in your collection, because I can't imagine anyone not liking it objectively. And if you are okay with spending like $50 or like half as much as the original fragrance costs, it can be a good option to try. But like for me, where my collection is at right now, I don't see value in me purchasing yet another caramely vanilla fragrance. I would honestly just rather buy Bianco Latte if I'm going to buy a fragrance in that similar scent profile. And I'm okay if Bianco Latte is like a little bit of a lighter fragrance. I'm okay with that. This one is nice. I don't think it's bad, but it's just not a fragrance that would work for me. So that's why I personally am glad that I have the decant and not the full size bottle, because I would never have been able to get through the full size bottle if I'm being totally honest. This next fragrance is one that I avoided for the longest time because I saw that it had a leather note and I was intimidated to say the least. I did not want to buy this fragrance because I was scared it would be way too jarring. And I'm okay with leather, but when you hear the notes, I think you'll be as surprised as I am, because this is a gourmand fragrance with leather. So it's very interesting. This is the fragrance called Terok by Lattafa, and this has top notes of caramel, bitter almond, pink pepper, and apricot, a mid of honey, rhubarb, white flowers, and rose, and then a base of leather, vanilla, musk, vetiver, and labdanum. The fact that it had so many gourmand notes and then leather just made me kind of scared to try this fragrance, and I'm so glad I tried it because I will now likely be buying a full size bottle of it. This smells so good. If you want something that smells gourmand but is like a little bit more unique, this is one to try, because I like how it smells like sweet but not too sweet. I smell the apricot here. It definitely is an apricot dominant fragrance in my opinion, with a hint of caramel, maybe a hint of honey, but I think the other notes, like such as the rhubarb, the florals, even the leather, help offset the fragrance so it doesn't lean too sugary sweet, and I really really like that. This is a good fragrance, guys. I like this one a lot. And I also smell the florals coming out in the dry down as well. I've worn it on skin and I really do love it. I think the leather actually helps with the longevity. So this is a unique fragrance and it's my favorite in this entire video. So quick rundown, let's do a recap. So just for the record, I don't think any of these fragrances smell particularly bad, but I do like having the decant because I'm able to like honestly really sit back with myself and think whether I would like to actually purchase this fragrance. And I like having that because I can have the bottle and I can share what I think this smells like. And to be honest, I've had bought all these perfumes. I would still keep them. I still like them, but I can be a little bit more discerning with whether I would actually purchase a full-size bottle after smelling the fragrance. So the ones that I am not a huge fan of, and again, I've described the fragrances to you, they don't smell bad, but they're just not to my taste, or they wouldn't fit into my collection as it is right now. So the first would be Eclair by Lattafa. This to me, it's not doing anything too special, and I have a lot of fragrances in the scent profile that I would gravitate towards anyway, and honestly, at this point, just go buy Bianco Latte. That's what I would do. This is what I'm doing. But I think that if you like the scent profile and you don't have like a caramely vanilla fragrance and you just want something straightforward, this is one to try. Serre by Lattafa. If you like cinnamon, this might be for you. But to me, like it's just not it. I want to revisit this again in the wintertime. It's like, again, that spiced vanilla cake. If that's what you're looking for, this is one to try. But I am not a super fan of this. I did like Yara by Lattafa. Would I buy the full-size bottle? Probably not, because it's not it's not something that I would be like super like I wouldn't make too much of a dent in it, but I do like the way this smells a lot, and I will be wearing this. I like this a lot. It's strawberry milkshake. It's so good. Like it's good. I really like this one a lot. Shaga Oud Tonka. This is a gourmand fragrance. If you love nutty perfumes and you don't want anything too sweet, this is really good. Again, it smells like a vanilla almond dessert, like a creamy ice cream kind of scent. This I really like. And of course, my top favorite is Terok by Lattafa. So good. This is like I would say it's one of my favorite apricot fragrances that I've smelled so far. It's really good. It's like photorealistic but not too sweet. I like this one a lot. It's my favorite out of the bunch. But yeah, that's it for this video. That's my review for you. I reviewed 5 Middle Eastern fragrances that were super hyped up. I am going to have them linked down below if you are interested in purchasing the full bottles. I hope my review was detailed enough to give you an idea about what these fragrances do smell like. And if I wasn't already planning on purchasing so many perfumes, I probably would have purchased these bottles outright, but I have been trying to post as many reviews as possible for you lately, and I can't do that if I'm buying full-size bottles. It just doesn't work with my space or my budget, so I'd rather buy decants. So I'm going to link the full-size bottles below, but if you're interested in getting the decants, I would recommend going to the Sillage by GB to get these particular decants. That's what I did, and I've had a really good experience, and I do think the price is pretty good as well. So I paid around $10 for each of these decants. That's a terrific bargain. So I definitely do think it's worth trying these fragrances out no matter what format you're interested in purchasing them in. But thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye.